Hello everyone, this is Studio One. Today, let's talk about the moon. The moon is something both familiar and mysterious to us. It's familiar because we see it every day, yet mysterious because we don't truly understand what it is or why it occupies its position in the sky. First, let's address some simple questions about the moon. Regarding this question, there's really no room for debate. No matter how many pieces of evidence conspiracy theorists present, it's difficult to prove that humans have not landed on the moon. For example, there's no air on the moon, so why did the American flag appear to wave? This is because the flag used during the moon landing was made of stiff nylon fabric and was supported by an L-shaped frame designed to make the flag appear as if it were waving, even in the absence of air. Another example is the absence of stars in moon landing photos. This is because the landings took place during the lunar day. The moon lacks an atmosphere, causing sunlight to be extremely intense, which drowns out the light from the stars. To photograph stars in a vacuum, one must avoid strong light sources and use long exposure times. In photos taken during China's Shenzhou spacecraft missions, stars are also not visible. Additionally, some moon landing photos show objects with shadows pointing in different directions. This is because the landings took place during the lunar day. On Earth, in hilly terrain, a single light source can cast non-parallel shadows on objects. More importantly, in 2009, the US launched the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, LRO, which has repeatedly captured images of the Apollo landing sites. These images clearly show the lunar modules, moon rovers, and footprints left by the astronauts, even capturing the flag planted during the missions. China's Chang'e 2, launched in 2010, also captured traces of the Apollo landings. So let's put this question to rest. Humans have indeed landed on the moon. Why does the moon always show the same face to Earth? This phenomenon is called tidal locking. Every celestial body exerts tidal forces, and a larger body can lock a smaller one in place. A planet can lock its moons, such as Mars in our solar system, which has locked its 2 moons. Jupiter has locked its 8 moons, all of which show the same face to the planet, with their rotation and revolution synchronized. This phenomenon is not uncommon. The moon's craters are indeed not very deep, averaging between 6 to 8 kilometers in depth. For example, the South Pole Aitken Basin on the moon, one of the largest craters in the solar system, has a diameter of 2,500 kilometers but a depth of only 13 kilometers. This is because the moon's gravity is weak, and its surface lacks substantial soil, resembling a sandy terrain with hard rock beneath. As a result, meteorites can't penetrate deeply, leaving behind wide, shallow craters. When comparing photos of the moon's near side and far side, we notice a significant difference in crater density. The near side is relatively flat, with dark areas known as Luna Maria, formed by cooled lava flows. The far side, however, is densely covered with craters, mountains, and valleys. This is primarily due to the uneven thickness of the moon's crust. The US Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, LRO, through its exploration of the moon's crust, discovered that the near side, facing Earth, has a thinner crust, while the far side has a thicker one. The thinner crust on the near side allowed magma to flow out after numerous meteorite impacts, cooling to form the Luna Maria. The thicker crust on the far side resulted in a surface dominated by impact craters. During the 6 Apollo missions, a total of 381 kilograms of lunar rocks were brought back to Earth. Analysis of these rocks revealed that they are older than Earth's rocks. Many have speculated that the moon formed earlier than Earth, but isotopic analysis of the lunar rocks shows that they are identical to those found on Earth. In other words, you could easily mistake these rocks for Earth's own. Isotopes are like a planet's DNA, and this similarity suggests that Earth and the Moon share a common origin. The ancient age of the Moon's rocks is due to the lack of significant geological activity on its surface. Earth, on the other hand, has its oldest rocks buried deep underground. The theory of the Moon's hollow structure was first proposed by Soviet astrophysicists Mikhail Vasin and Alexander Sherbakov. They suggested that the Moon is hollow. In 1969, Apollo 12 used its discarded lunar module to impact the Moon's surface. Seismometers placed on the Moon recorded the resulting moonquake, which lasted for over an hour. If the Moon were a solid body, the vibrations should have lasted only 15 to 30 minutes. This further fueled the academic argument that the Moon is hollow. Some believe that the Moon's interior is hollow, and that the entire Moon is a spaceship stationed in Earth's orbit to monitor our planet. However, the Moon's rocks are primarily basalt, which, having never been exposed to an atmosphere, are extremely dry. This lack of atmospheric erosion means that seismic waves encounter less resistance, resulting in prolonged vibrations. Moreover, such moonquake experiments only provide information about the Moon's shallow surface layers and do not penetrate its interior. Additionally, U.S. lunar gravity field probes have determined that the Moon's crust is between 60 to 65 kilometers thick. If aliens exist, where would they most likely establish a base? On Earth? Unlikely. The Moon would be the ideal location, hidden yet perfectly positioned for observation. So, are the photos of artificial structures and bases on the Moon real or fake? Many of these images are digitally altered. Even if an alien base existed, it wouldn't be on the surface but buried underground. Regarding the giant lunar spacecraft allegedly photographed by Apollo 15, the astronauts initially believed it to be an oddly shaped rock. However, after NASA released the photo, it sparked widespread debate. Subsequently, NASA altered the image, a move that raised suspicions. In the released photo, it's evident that the area around the spacecraft has been blurred, while the surrounding regions remain clear. Many, including the University Space Research Association, USRA, a reputable space research organization, retained the unaltered original photo in their database. The outline of the spacecraft is clearly visible in these unedited versions. There are also close-up photos of this giant structure, though their authenticity remains questionable. What about evidence of UFO activity on the Moon? Today, using high-powered telephoto cameras, it's possible to capture images of UFOs on the Moon. Why, after landing on the Moon in the 1960s and 1970s, did the US not return for nearly 50 years? The reasons are actually quite simple. First, there was no need. The moon landings were a product of the Cold War rivalry between the US and the Soviet Union. Once, the US achieved its goal, landing on the Moon 6 times. The first phase of the mission was complete, and the program was discontinued. Second, there was no money. The budget simply wasn't there. During the Apollo program, the cost of launching a single Saturn V rocket was $4 billion. Today, the US has announced a new lunar program, the Artemis program, which aims to land astronauts, including the first woman on the Moon, by 2024. The hiatus wasn't due to fear of aliens or lack of interest. It was primarily a financial issue. Now let's tackle some more complex questions. How was the Moon formed? There are currently 5 main theories about the Moon's origin. 1. Capture theory. This theory suggests that the Moon was a wandering celestial body captured by Earth's gravity as it passed nearby. However, for Earth to capture a satellite as large as the Moon is highly improbable. Additionally, this theory fails to explain the isotopic similarities between lunar and Earth rocks. 2. Co-formation theory. This theory proposes that both Earth and the Moon formed from the same cloud of planetary dust in the early solar system. While this explains the isotopic match, it doesn't account for the Moon's significantly smaller core compared to Earth's. If they shared the same origin, their core proportions should be more similar. 3. Fission theory. This theory posits that early Earth spun so rapidly that it flung off a portion of its material, which then coalesced to form the Moon. Imagine a child being flung off an out-of-control merry-go-round. This would require an impossibly high rotational speed. When scientists calculated the necessary speed, the theory fell apart, as early Earth couldn't have spun that fast. 4. Giant impact hypothesis. This hypothesis suggests that the Moon formed from debris created when a Mars-sized protoplanet named Theia collided with early Earth. If true, the Moon should be a mix of Earth and Theia materials. However, this doesn't align with the isotopic similarities between lunar and Earth rocks, making the theory problematic. 5. Synestia theory, the donut theory. This is the latest explanation proposed by planetary scientists. It suggests that the Moon originated from a donut-shaped cloud of vaporized rock known as a synestia. Scientists theorize that early Earth, shortly after its formation, wasn't a solid sphere, but a disc-shaped structure somewhere between a planet and a debris field. When a smaller planetesimal collided with it, the impact sheet vaporized Earth's atmosphere, water, and surface rocks, leaving behind a core surrounded by a cloud of vaporized material. Over millions of years, this cloud cooled and condensed, forming both Earth and the Moon. This theory explains the isotopic similarities and the differences in core density. Computer simulations of such an impact show that it could indeed produce a Moon-like satellite. This may be the most plausible explanation for the Moon's origin. Now that we've explored some of the Moon's mysteries, including its most likely origin, what else is there to discuss? Interestingly, one of the Moon's greatest mysteries often goes unnoticed: the phenomenon of total solar eclipses. A total solar eclipse occurs when the Moon moves directly between the Earth and the Sun, perfectly blocking the Sun and creating the phenomenon of a total solar eclipse. Many moons in the solar system can create solar eclipses, but none can produce a perfect one like the Moon does. The Moon aligns so precisely with the Sun that it completely obscures it, creating a perfect match. The Sun's diameter is 1.392 million kilometers, while the Moon's diameter is 3,476 kilometers. This means the Sun's diameter is 400 times that of the Moon. The distance from Earth to the Sun is 149 million kilometers, and the distance from Earth to the Moon is 384,400 kilometers. Remarkably, the Sun is 400 times farther from Earth than the Moon is, making the apparent sizes of the Sun and Moon nearly identical from Earth's perspective. The Moon is neither too large nor too small. It aligns with the Sun with perfect precision. Among the 67 moons in the solar system, only the Moon can produce a perfect total solar eclipse. Other moons are either too large or too small, but the Moon is just right. This is known in astronomy as a cosmic coincidence, a miracle of alignment. But what is the significance of this coincidence? In astronomy, there is a concept called the Roche limit, which refers to the minimum distance at which two celestial bodies can maintain stable orbits. If this distance is exceeded, the smaller body will be torn apart by gravitational forces, forming a ring around the larger body, like Saturn's rings. On the other hand, the maximum distance for stable orbital interaction is called the Hill sphere. As long as a body remains within this sphere, it can be captured by the planet's gravity and become its satellite. The Moon's Roche limit with Earth is 20,000 kilometers, and Earth's Hill sphere extends to 1.5 million kilometers. This means the Moon could theoretically orbit Earth anywhere between 20,000 and 1.5 million kilometers. Yet, the Moon orbits at precisely 384,000 kilometers, the exact distance required to create perfect solar eclipses. Isn't this an astronomical miracle? Let's consider why the Moon is positioned at this specific distance. When Earth first formed, it rotated much faster, with a day lasting only 5 hours. The Moon's gravitational influence, through tidal forces, gradually slowed Earth's rotation to the current 24-hour day. In this sense, the Moon acts as a stabilizer for Earth's rotational axis. It keeps Earth's axis tilted at approximately 23.5 degrees, ensuring the stability of our seasons. Moreover, the Moon's gravitational pull creates ocean tides, and the friction from these tides generates heat within Earth's core. This heat keeps Earth's core molten, producing a powerful magnetic field. This magnetic field acts as a shield, protecting Earth from harmful solar and cosmic radiation, making life on Earth possible. Without this shield, life as we know it could not exist. In other words, without the Moon, there would be no life on Earth and no us. If the Moon were farther than 4,000 kilometers, Earth's axial tilt would gradually increase, potentially reaching up to 50 degrees. This would turn much of Earth into an icy wasteland, rendering it uninhabitable for humans. Thus, the Moon's current distance from Earth is not just a coincidence, it is essential for life. For me, the Moon's greatest mystery is why it exists and how crucial it is to the survival of life on Earth. Reflecting on the numerous mass extinctions in Earth's history, I can't help but wonder about the Moon's role. Throughout Earth's history, there have been at least 5 major mass extinctions. The first occurred 440 million years ago during the Ordovician period, wiping out 85% of species due to a global temperature drop lasting 2 to 3 million years. The second happened 365 million years ago during the Devonian period, primarily affecting marine life due to a sudden global cooling. The third and most severe extinction occurred 250 million years ago during the Permian period, eliminating 96% of Earth's species. This event, likely caused by massive volcanic eruptions lasting 20 to 200 million years, completely reshaped Earth's ecosystems, paving the way for the rise of dinosaurs and other reptiles. The fourth extinction, 200 million years ago during the Triassic period, wiped out 75% of marine life due to another supervolcanic eruption. The fifth extinction, 65 million years ago, marked the end of the dinosaurs when an asteroid struck Earth, eliminating 80% of life and creating the conditions for mammals to thrive. In light of these catastrophic events, the Moon's presence and its precise distance from Earth seem almost too perfect to be accidental. Could the Moon be more than just a natural satellite? Could it be a cosmic safeguard, ensuring the stability and survival of life on Earth? This is perhaps the Moon's greatest mystery, a celestial guardian whose existence is intertwined with our own. But have you noticed something about these mass extinctions in Earth's history? Each one seemed to pave the way for the rise of mammals and ultimately for the emergence of humans. Whether it was global cooling, supervolcanic eruptions, or asteroid impacts, these events lasted for tens of thousands to millions of years, as if deliberately designed to eliminate certain species. Let's imagine for a moment. What if Earth is a greenhouse, a life laboratory, and the Creator needed to repeatedly alter the environment to create a species like humans? What would be the most effective way to wipe out existing life? Nuclear weapons? Neutron bombs? Even the most powerful human-made weapons pale in comparison to the destructive force of nature, which can harness the power of celestial bodies to reshape an entire planet. With this in mind, I propose a bold idea. The moon is a weapon. Its purpose? To control Earth's environment by altering its distance from our planet. If the moon moves closer to Earth, it could accelerate Earth's rotation, triggering volcanic eruptions and catastrophic climate changes. If it moves farther away, Earth could plunge into an ice age, freezing over and wiping out life. Once the desired extinction is achieved, the moon could return to its optimal position, restoring conditions suitable for new life to emerge. Take the extinction of the dinosaurs, for example. The prevailing theory is that 65 million years ago, a 10-kilometer-wide asteroid struck Earth, causing a shift in Earth's rotational axis. But let's think about this. How big is 10 kilometers? While an asteroid of that size could cause massive destruction, it's unlikely to shift Earth's axis on its own. Only the moon's gravitational influence could achieve such an effect. Similarly, the legendary prehistoric flood, said to have occurred 8,000 to 10,000 years ago, might have been the result of the moon moving closer to Earth. If the flood truly happened, it could have been caused by a sudden shift in the moon's position. Scientists have discovered that Earth's axis has shifted multiple times since its formation 1.5 billion years ago, but the reasons remain unclear. The moon provides a compelling explanation for these shifts. So here's the conclusion. The moon is a natural celestial body, but it has been repurposed as a tool to control Earth's ecological environment. It is not a spaceship monitoring humanity, nor is it a hollow structure. It is a weapon, a device capable of resetting Earth's environment when necessary. Who is operating this weapon? When will it be activated again? These are questions we cannot answer. What we can do is protect our environment and cherish our planet, lest this superweapon be triggered once more. If you want to explore more cosmic mysteries and unsolved enigmas, remember to subscribe to Studio One. See you next time.